What's going on, arcade nerds? Got a new toy. Let me show you how messy it is in here right now. Got a new toy, and I want to show it off in this video, and maybe we'll do some minor things to work on it. But, got a SINISTAR cockpit. Now this particular SINISTAR cockpit, I bought it off a friend of mine. He's had this thing for 20 some years. And over the course of that 20 some years, I would occasionally, a few times a year, say, hey, if you ever want to sell that thing, let me know. And you know, the answer was always no. And or he'd say, no, I want to get it working first if I ever sell it. And, well, you know, 20 years have gone by, and he never got it working. He never got to it, you know. But, you know, that's life. But anyways, over the years, I noticed that he never had a control panel for this. And years ago, let's say maybe 10 years ago or so, a buddy of mine happened to have a control panel. And I got this. He gave it to me for free. And then I gave it to my friend who owned this machine. So now this machine is complete except for a joystick and the harness area right here. Which I happen to have a joystick. And I think I have a complete harness to an upright SINISTAR. So, we'll see. So anyways, here's the story. By the way, this thing looks you know, a little dirty here. It's not so bad. So anyways, a buddy of mine, like I said, I've been bugging him for years. And one day he needed some money to pay the rent and whatever. And so he just showed up one day and he says, hey, Jason, you still interested in that SINISTAR cockpit? And I said, yeah. And just out of nowhere, he says, okay, well, how about this much? And so I paid him what he asked, which is actually $500 less than I offered years ago. So anyways, it was a pretty sweet deal. You know, I don't want to take advantage of my friends, you know? So I didn't want to buy it on those terms, like he had to sell it. But that's the way it came, and that's the way it happened. And, you know, so I bought it. But anyway, so let's take a look at this thing a little bit. So this right here, you can pick this whole thing up. I'm picking it up right now. Like the hood of a car or something. It's pretty cool. So down here is the board. And here are two gas struts. One on this side, one on that side. Right now I'm holding this up because the gas struts are bad. And as you can see, something's been storing nuts in here. And so on. There's some mouse piss here and there. I'm going to put this thing on my head so it doesn't fall on me. Okay, so I'm balancing the hood with my head. Trying to. So this piece right here, this picks up. And that's a hinge right there. So I'm going to back up. As you can see, that piece goes right there. That hinges down. And this looks like one of those... okay, so you see this piece of metal right here? It's just sitting there. I believe... See, I don't know where it would have gone on this cabinet, though. But I believe that's one of those mirrors that like bolts to Williams games. So you have like a mirror so you can adjust your monitor settings while looking at it. Yet, I don't know where it would go on this machine because this machine has a bezel. So I don't know if that belongs in this machine or not. So here you have stereo, by the way. The Cockpit SINISTAR has stereo. So let me put this back down. And so anyways, this is what I plan to do. I want to get these original boards working. They do not right now. Right now there's a power supply issue. I just did a quick little test, and which is interesting. I have continuity between the power supply and the boards. Yet I have 5 volts on the boards, but magically I don't have 5 volts at the power supply. So what? Anyways, there's a power supply issue, even though I magically have all the voltages here. I don't know, that doesn't make sense, does it? So anyways, I turn it on, and I'm gonna try to balance the thing on my head again. So it's been a while since I messed around with Williams stuff, but you see this little readout? I believe that's supposed to say 0. Right now it does nothing. And if there's a RAM error, which are these chips right here, this will flash a code. And then you look up what the code is, and it'll say which RAM chip is bad. So Williams is kind of cool that it self-diagnoses itself like that. And so anyways, I just brought over some random Williams stuff I have on the shelf in case I need it. I don't know. So this looks like some, oh, it says Joust on it. Okay, so that's a Joust. Those batteries I should remove. And here's some random board that was on the shelf. Who knows? This is a board I always pull out whenever I work on Williams games. Because, okay, but first off, this board, it goes to a PDP-10 computer. Well, all these are the same RAM chips that go on Williams games. And then here's another random board I pulled out that's for Joust, I think. So anyways, my plan is to, I was thinking about, we'll see, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is, see these, the RAM that are on these Williams boards are tri-voltage RAM. If I remember correctly, there's a +5, -5, and +12. And they are kind of known to be unreliable. So rather than replace them with these, the exact same thing, I think I'm going to replace them with a newer chip. What was it? 4164? And then there's like either 41128 and 41256, something like that. That have, they're larger chips, but the same address space is used for the same pins. So anyways, what I plan to do is, there's 2 different methods. I can, number 1, hack the board itself and make it run the newer chips. Or number 2, buy an adapter that goes between this power and the harness and omits certain voltages that would normally go to the RAM and then run the newer RAM. So what I think I'm going to do is, I'm acting like I'm thinking about this. I already did it. I just ordered from Arcade Shop power supply adapter, or the RAM adapter board, and new RAM. Now, I hate to do that because I know I actually have 4164s. You can get the same RAM off old Apple memory cards. And I have them. Just don't know where they're at. So anyways, I just bought from Arcade Shop all the brand new ones. What else did I get? Something else I bought. Oh, power supply adapter. Now, normally I kind of like keeping the power supply original on these things, but I bought a power supply adapter, and it's probably just for laziness. I really want to see this thing boot up immediately, I'm all excited about seeing this thing boot up, and I want to play SINISTAR. Man, I don't know. I always thought SINISTAR was awesome. If you were to ask me, and pretty much anyone, why is SINISTAR awesome? I wouldn't say it's the gameplay. I would say it's the audio. So, like, the first time I ever played SINISTAR, I will always remember that the guy yells, like the bad guy yells, and he taunts you. He's like, "Run, coward!" And I don't know how fucking cool is that? I don't know. I wish I could show you a video. I guess this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna assess. We're gonna talk about this, and I guess we'll make this a video series. So let me just talk about some random things that I want to do. Okay, I may just do this in this video. We'll see. But the one thing I want to do while I'm waiting for Arcade Shop junk to come in is I'd like to fix this seat. Okay, so these seats were known to crack. Yeah, so I want to fix that. That I just remembered a interesting story. So I've wanted a SINISTAR. My wife has wanted a SINISTAR cockpit for a very long time. We have a SINISTAR upright, but it's just not the same, This has lots of it just looks cooler. It has lights behind these panels, and it's just really cool. So years ago, I had a deal with a guy that I was going to buy his SINISTAR cockpit. And I drove all the way. I'm going to sit down. Ugh. And so I drove all the way to Tennessee to buy this guy's SINISTAR cockpit, amongst other things. And so as I'm driving out, by the way, and I was going to buy his machine, and if not, I had a plan B. There was a SINISTAR cockpit for sale, which was literally on the halfway point of going to his place. So either way, I had cash in my pocket, and I'm buying a damn SINISTAR. So, as I'm heading to my buddy's house to get a SINISTAR cockpit, he contacts me and he says, "Hey, Jason, there's a SINISTAR cockpit like halfway between me and you." And I says, "I know, I was going to buy it, but I'm going to buy yours instead." And he says, "Well, okay, if I give you the cash, can you buy that cockpit? And when you come down, I'll give you a better deal on my cockpit," and so on. So I says, "Yeah, sure." So I ended up picking up the SINISTAR cockpit anyways. And it's kind of funny because we tilted the machine and he didn't mount the monitor, and we necked the monitor inside the thing. But anyways, this is a whole different story. So I bring him his SINISTAR cockpit, his new one, which, by the way, this same guy had a row of 4 of them. 4 SINISTAR cockpits. Anyway, so I go to this guy's house, and it was a multiple day event. I went down there and fixed a bunch of games for him and things. And then he changed his mind. And he says, "You know what, Jason, I want to keep both SINISTAR cockpits." So he kind of screwed me. So, like, and then he bought my backup plan. So, I don't know. For a long time, I've been like, damn it, I want a SINISTAR cockpit. They've been slipping through my fingers. They're kind of hard to find. Somewhere I've seen online that there was only 200 made. I'm not sure if that's true. I should probably look into that. Yeah, you look into it and leave a comment and tell me what you guys think, if that's true or not. So anyways, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take off that seat. Now, here's something interesting to talk about. So, these SINISTAR cockpits, and I believe some other Williams games and so on, had these stupid ass security screws. You see that? This screw does not have anything. It's a complete, perfect circle. So hold on. So I bought different screws here And, you know, I do like to keep things original. And, you know, yes, the power supply thing even bothers me a bit, because I do plan on possibly putting a switcher. But so I was able to take one of these screws out. This is a security screw for this cabinet. Look at this. Look at this bullshit. How do they drive that in through the factory? Drive that in at the factory. I don't even see any like marks on the edge. Come on, focus. I don't even see any marks on the edge where they would have dug into it with some sort of bit. No idea. So, you know, I'm not putting these back in. I know that's the original screw, but screw that. Screw that screw. So I'm going to put these screws in instead, just so I can take it apart again, so on. And so what I think I'm going to do is take all these terrible screws out and pull out all the plastics on this seat, and I will wash and then repair this cracks on here. And I guess we'll call that step 1, the first thing we do on the SINISTAR cockpit. And, you know, I much would rather do the electronic side, but we'll wait for those parts to come in the mail. So that's what I'll probably do in this video. Now, as you can see, there's some frayed edges around here. For the most part, all the frayed edges are in the black. There's going to have to be some rebuilding here. There's a bit of swelling right there, but it's just right there. I mean, if the swelling was all the way up to here, I could still, you know, bring that down and fix it. By the way, did I show the other side? So here's this side, about the same condition. Okay, so this definitely needs a bath, definitely needs a vacuum, definitely needs all kinds of stuff. But, hey man, we can get this cleaned up. So, you know, I'm going to have to do some minor Bondo work around the edges, and then rebuild the section on both sides, and repaint the black. And I think I should be able to magic sponge and save all the actual art. Very minor touch-ups. So anyways, let me see if I could fight these screws. And I've never taken out a seat out of one of these cockpits before, but I will try and see. See, here's a little screw there. There's a screw there. I'll try to see if I can get them all out, and hopefully this sucker will pop out, and then I'll fix that crack. Okay, so we took out the plastic for the seat. You see a squirrel or something has been stuffing its nuts in there. And so here's the seat. And here's the back plastic. We had to remove the back plastic to get to the seat. And I had to get the speaker wires, and I couldn't get the edge blades off the speakers, so I cut the wire. I didn't want to, but I did. I cut the wire. We'll have to splice the wire back together when we put it back together. And yeah, so that's that. Jeez. So we're going to end up taking this whole thing into a million pieces to clean it up, because it's kind of nasty. So I'm going to get my wife, and she's going to vacuum this out, and we're going to scrub the hell out of this before we start doing the body work. Okay, so the cracks are actually pretty deep. They're worse than I thought. So this crack goes from here all the way to here, and this goes all the way to here. So I don't know. The plan is to rough this up with some sandpaper, and I'm going to lay some layers of resin and fiberglass, and we'll see how that goes. So I guess let me rough up. I think I'm just going to lay some fiberglass literally just everywhere, this whole area, because these cracks are pretty big. I don't know, I'm not a bodywork expert when it comes to fiberglass, so I figure I might as well make it as large as possible to try to stop the cracks from spreading any further. They're already pretty good. So I wonder if this stuff would do any better. This is 120 grit. Yes, that's rougher for sure. Yeah, also up here, there's a crack here, which spreads into all the way down here. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do the best I can. Hopefully it'll be good enough. Those are the two major cracks. The two cracks, I mean the two areas that need fixed. See how it goes. So let me do some sanding. So I just got about a hair over half a cup of resin, and I just put 45 drops of hardener in it. That's my guesstimates, and my wife literally just turned the camera on as soon as I put that resin in, the hardener in. So anyway, so the plan is to put some, well, you know what I should have done? I should have cut the fiberglass to get it ready before, maybe my wife will do that. But right now, the first thing I'm worried about is the crack on the side. So I actually have some ABS plastic, and I snapped it with my hands, and it kind of broke as if, it was meant to be. It broke just the right way. So this crack goes all the way up into here, then here. So I'm going to glue some ABS here, and I'm going to glue some ABS here to strengthen it. And this is about 2 times thicker than the original ABS, so hopefully that's good enough. Anyways, the instructions say I only have like 10-12 minutes of working time. So let's get moving. Maybe I should have put some fiberglass here also. Oh well. Let's see how it goes. That might have been smart, fiberglass here. Okay, yeah, it looks like you're doing good there, Kelly. Yeah.
You want a little piece?
You want a piece? Not right now, hold on.
Might be better in those grooves.
Oh, for the over here you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got scissors handy?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put a little turd in there.
It cut really well.
Here, does it cut well?
Very well, actually.
All right, look at. I hate working with fiberglass.
Me too.
I hate working with fiberglass. I hate working with fiberglass.
Yeah, it's probably best there.
Ah, jeez.
Hold on.
You know what we wasn't there paper towels around here?
Nope.
Of course not. Yeah, right. That's awesome. We should probably get
Something to hold that.
yeah.
Hold on.
I'm laying it on thick. I don't care.
Every other time we're tripping over these things.
Oh, I know. I must have a million clamps. Well, it's supposed to
Hard up.
set up in like 10 minutes, so
Might be
the
okay.
longer I hold it, the closer we get to our goal here.
True.
So I may see. We're not going to see any of this in the bottom, so I don't care if I'm a little sloppy here. The resin goes out further than the fiberglass. That's fine. Nice and sloppy. See? Of course, this is sliding off.
You want me to hold it?
Didn't you say you had tape?
Yes. Regular packing tape, which should at least hold it there.
Here, just hold it. I don't know.
That's
Fuck,
fine.
shit. Something. I don't know. I need to get through here. I just assumed it was going to hold on its own. I guess we'll just keep putting layer after layer on the bottom. Try to strengthen it.
Yeah.
So that was a half a cup of resin. We have a lot more to go. We have a lot more to use up.
Yeah, let that harden and do a whole nother layer of knitting.
Or should I technically put another layer before this?
Oh, no.
I don't know. We used to have UV resin. That would have come in handy here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's let this cure. And see if I could help you with something to hold that piece of ABS down. All right, let me wash my hands and turn the camera off here. Okay, so there is 4 layers now of fiberglass resin on the bottom, and fiberglass, and so that has made this much stronger. But I don't want to just Bondo over these cracks because I don't want them to come back again. So I'm going to put one more layer of fiberglass on top, and we're going to do a lot of body work, that's all. Yeah, so I did a little bit of sanding here. And, you know, I just don't want that crack to come back. There could be a very attractive 270-pound arcade collector that could sit on this and cause that crack to, you know, reopen, trapping his testicles, which would then lead to a very uncomfortable hospital visit, which could then lead to him waking up hours later to find out that the doctor decided to remove his testicles to preserve the rare SINISTAR cockpit seat. I don't want to be in that situation, so let's just make sure we get this resined up on top too. I've been there. We've all been there. Really hate doing this right here, even though I know it's going to be better. It's going to be stronger. But I really hate doing this because this means there's going to be lots of body work on the inside. But like I said, if I don't, I fear that crack could reopen again. So be it. We'll just do it. And I think after this cures, you know, this is what I'm probably going to do. Let's wait till, I'll probably end the video. We'll see. Maybe I'll end the video after I do this. And then tomorrow I'll do the sanding, because it's going to be sanded after this. And then I'll do make what's called rondo. Well, some people call it rondo. And what that is, it's Bondo mixed with resin to make it a little smoother, thinner. And then I'll do a coat of rondo, because I don't want plain old Bondo here, because this seat could flex and that Bondo could separate. So I'm going to do something called rondo, and that's harder to sand, but it's stiffer. So that's what I think. We'll see. No, me and my wife have been sick with some kind of flu. And the flu is kind of over now, but very bad chest congestion is still remaining. Should I go a second layer? I mean, I could. But it looks like as of now, there's kind of minimal sanding going on. So, I guess I'll just leave it be. And, you know, it'll be less body work later. So I have, about a quarter cup of resin left. I don't know where I could use it up. So, yeah, this is obviously going to need to have some body work. But like I said, that true possible scenario of a 270-pound attractive arcade collector could put his balls to that seat. I guess I'll just, hell, it doesn't hurt anything to throw another layer on this. Although, you know what I'll do? I don't have much resin left over. I'll just, dump it for no reason. Just to use it up. Yeah, I mean, so the bottom is, by the way, the bottom basically sits on wood on this machine. And I'm only picking up the bottom like what, 1 or 2 millimeters. So no big deal. I was thinking maybe even put a like 1/8 inch piece of rubber on the bottom. I don't know if that would really help or not. I think that's probably the reason why these cracked. That, first off, why the hell would you use vacuum ABS this thin as a chair? What a terrible idea that was. But then, on top of that, you have the round chair base rubbing on a flat piece of wood. That can't be good for it. Yeah, happy little accidents. Get all that resin on there for the little tree right here. Yeah, so I guess that's it. That's good enough for this video. So now that it has 4 layers of fiberglass and one big heavy shiner coat of resin on the end and the final coat, that's something. And so I guess next video I will finish. So in other words, probably tomorrow I'll do another video. I will do the body work and paint the entire chair, I believe. Anyways, I'll see you guys then. All right, have a good one, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and have a good one.